Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. God is good. Thank you for joining me again today. Sorry, excuse me, I'm still finishing up my lunch. It's another one of those scramble to get everything in place in time. That's just every day for me. We know that by now. But I thought I would go ahead and start it early. What's up, Mondoon? I thought I would start a little early today because we are going to be watching these new RPGA tutorial to start simulcast. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but gonna be commenting on that live, doing that thing before we get into it. And by commenting on that live, I mean I'm gonna be finishing up my sandwich at first. But you doing all right, Mondoon? Respond to Locke over here too. Nice. Glad to hear it, man. Friday is finally here. It's almost clock out time. Do loading screens for the premieres. That'd be great. Amen. For show, man. It's been a good week, though. Nice and productive. Let me adjust this guy here. Sorry. Noises. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one anyway. This one. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Just garbled noise. I figured today we will... Obviously, we're going to watch this. We're going to work on next week's Patreon song and maybe finish up again with a little bit of Mario Kart once again because it is the weekend. It is Friday. Almost the weekend. Weekend adjacent. When I was in high school, we had Fridays off, so Friday still always feels like weekend to me. I went to one of those alternative schools that we had Fridays off because there was half the students there had babies. All right, here we go. You should be able to hear that, right? Looks like audio's coming through. I gotta sneeze. Ooh. Ooh. Cool. I'm gonna mute my mic 1 second. I realized the audio is still coming through my speakers too. Big epic intro. Going back to the basics on this one, man. Just because I realized the first 3 videos was about an hour. Welcome to an RPG Architect tutorial. My name is Bert, and I'm going to be guiding you through your first time using the RPGA engine. This is for if you're brand new to the engine, you're looking to dive in, this is the tutorial for you. So, you might see this window when you first launch the engine. If you don't for some reason, if it's just a blank screen or blank project, go to File, Launch Initial Screen. That'll bring this up for you. On the left side here, you can see there are some sample projects for you to check out if you want to see what the engine can do. Over here on the right, you'll see we have a few helpful links. We have a link to our YouTube channel where you can check out a bunch of the video tutorials. You can join our Discord if you need help with things, if you need support. This is a great resource to check out. A lot of great community members helping out there. You have a link to our website and to our wiki. I gotta figure out what I want to do with that. Mondoon, probably put this at the start of the playlist. But project. We're gonna do the that would make sense. Tutorial title or start a new playlist. I don't know. Epic game, of course. You can set a project path, and so I'm going to click these buttons. This is a directory I have for all my RPGA projects. I'm just going to select that folder. And then you can, if you want to keep all the assets, like for a particular project, stored in a subfolder from your directory, you can create a folder for project. I will check that. We do have a couple templates set up for front view and side view battlers, an 8-bit project. So if you don't want to do a lot of the initial setup, you can use those. However, we're going to be starting one without a template. Now down below you can see a few more options. You can set your tile dimensions, you can set the mode if it's going to be a 2D or 3D game. We're going to start off with 2D, and we can set our resolution. I'm going to go to 1280 by 720. You can unlock the frame rate, set it up for full screen. This is fine for me right now. You can go back and adjust these later. However, you want to make sure your tile dimension is set correctly here. Depending on the size of the tile assets you're going to be using, make sure you get this set right. We're going to be using 32 because if you click resource package here, we have Final Boss Blues Time Fantasy Limited. These are 32 by 32 tiles. So we're going to be using these for our project. In addition, we're going to add some fonts to use. We're going to be using some UI stuff from St. Edward's Games. We're going to be using some animations from Serif Circle and some battlers from Tyler Warren, as well as some music from yours truly. Some music and sound effects.
There you go.
Okay, so this should all be good. We've got our title, we've got our directory, we are creating without a template, a scale, and camera
Peanut butter and banana and honey sandwich for lunch. Oh, that sounds really good, dude.
We're just going to keep them as they are. And so let's just go ahead and hit OK.
I've never done that combo, but actually I have a feeling I would really like that.
Nothing in it. So the first thing I want to do when I start a new project is I'm going to come over here to
so no jelly at all. It's just peanut butter, banana, and honey.
Now I have a red border that has popped up. If you don't see this, come up to editor.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Settings.
I'd try it.
Edit settings. And then
have you ever had the the hot honey?
So you see render settings, these
peanut butter and bacon
and border color.
That sounds good. I would try it.
Border thickness. I'm
open to try a lot of foods, to be honest with you. Unless it's something like
it's a setting I already had on because I've used this.
What do they call them? Mountain oysters. Not going to do that.
To 2. You can set whatever color you'd like for your preview border. I just like using red. So this is the region where we'll be able to draw our map for this particular map. Now, if you look down here in the bottom left, you can set some different map properties. So let's go ahead and rename this one. We'll call it starting area, and you can see it adjusted the name up here in our map list as well. And so if we were to do a new map, that would pop up as new map 1, 2.
Mondoon, would you eat mountain oysters?
Properties. There's a lot of different settings we can go into. However, the main one we want to focus on first is this one here called tile set. So if you click it, there's a drop down window,
okay.
But there's nothing.
You definitely know what they are then.
We need to define what tile set we're going to use to be able to draw in this map. So let's go up to tools and then database, or you can just hit the F8 key. Now this is our database. This is where you'll be setting up a lot of information.
It's one of those things that's a deceptive name, so that's the only way that they can get people to eat them.
And so forth. There's a lot of things you can get into in here. Right now, we're going to be coming down to the map section tile sets. If you click here, you'll see there's still nothing going on over here, but there is an open slot here. So this is 000. If you click that, now we can use this to define our first tile sets. So there's a spot for us to name it. Let's call it exterior. I can spell exterior 1. We'll just do that. And then we have different types of tile sets. So we have animated tile sets, terraforming tile sets, structural or structured tile sets, and then normal.
Wasn't that scene in one of the National Lampoon movies where he ate a bowl and when he found out? I think so. I wasn't sure what movie that was from, but I've seen that clip circulating around.
Image. If you click the 3 dots to the right.
Excuse me, sorry.
This window that pops up. This is...
Yeah, I'm not sure what movie, but it was Chevy Chase, so good chance it was National Lampoon.
Parts of the engine, when you need to define tile set images or a character sprite, music prompts, whatever, it's going to bring up a window like this. So we have our resource folder here, folders here on the left. We're already at tile sets or tiles. I'm going to click Final Boss Blues 32, and then I'm going to select this water lava one because this is an animated tile set. So we'll select yes. We can adjust the unit height. 1 is what we need. This particular tile set, it's animated, so it has 3 frames. and then we're going to set the duration of it. We're going to do 200 milliseconds. We are going to click the is terraforming box because we want these tiles to.
I was about to turn down the volume on this because I was like, I know what I'm doing, but I was like, wait, no. We're supposed to be listening to this.
Animation. That's really just for the preview in here. You can see that the tiles, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see there's like a water animation happening there, okay? So that's our first one. Let's go down to terraforming tiles. We're gonna do the same thing. Come up here to the image section. Click that, and then we're gonna select terraform ground. We'll use this tile set for our terraforming. You can also set multiple tile sets for each one of these categories. So let's go ahead and hit 1. Come back here. I'm gonna go to the RPGA Open RTP, and then select, we'll do this flat terraforming one as well. Then come down to structure tiles. We're going to select the first slot, find our image. We'll select this one here, RPGA RTP structure 32. This one will work fine. Let's select another one too. Go to Final Boss Blues structure version 1. Hit OK. Now for structural stuff, you have an additional setting called wall height, and that will define how tall these wall sections are. So these are, if this is a 32 by 32 square right here at the top, then these are too high, these walls. Does that make sense? So if I was to adjust that, you'll get this little error.
We got Mr. Squarepeg in chat.
Work with this image and
Hrotrix. Hrotrix is usually pretty regular. And Miat.
Set appropriately. These ones are formatted for 32 by 32 height.
Good old Squarepeg though, man.
As a too high wall, and we can adjust that later with modifiers.
Guy has to join
that is taller than
50 discords in a day.
But for right now,
my wife grew up on a farm, so she was involved in the harvesting of the oysters. Oh, ooh.
Lastly, there's this section called normal tile sets. So if you see this down here, click that. We're gonna go ahead and add.
Yeah, that's no comment. I mean, like,
and so this is just like,
I guess stuff like that. It's like when you grow up doing it, it's not a big deal. But it's like if you they're just for everybody else,
standard flat tiles.
No, thank you.
Go ahead and click that. And we'll select this one called flatten dudette. We'll use that for this example. If you did want to use flat tiles,
I'm sorry, I'm almost done eating. I swear, I promise. It's just you and me hanging out right now, though, Mondoon. So
you could do that as well. If you want.
Thank you for your patience.
These rock patterns, these ones up here for a normal tile set, you could do that. You might run into some issue trying to use these terraforming ones down below, though. However, I'll just put it in there just to show you as an example. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit OK. And now you can see down here in the bottom left, exterior 1 has already been selected. So up here in the top right, we have our tile.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we have
I'll just
animated,
pull them all from the stream
that we selected. We have our terraforming tiles.
I don't know what other people do, because I know people sit here and stream all day, so they'll eat their food on camera. I still feel weird about it, but I was just out of time, and I'm going to be here for the next 4 hours, so
you can just draw in. We have
it actually works out today because we're sitting watching this, so I had a little extra time, kind of.
Square tool where you can drag a square. We have
the square tool fits in the square hole.
Circles, and we have an eraser tool.
Where does the circle hole fit?
Erase in whatever
in the square hole
formation you have. So if I have the erase and the fill bucket, I can get rid of all of that, right? Let's go ahead and undo all of that. Take my erase off. Because one thing I want to point out.
Yeah, now that I hit the gym for the day, I can have a Coke.
Layers. So
that's how that works, right?
Comes naturally with different.
Actually, this got shipped.
Your player will
with the Switch 2. It came with a Coke and a thing of Pringles.
Will be below him. Anything on the upper layers will be above him. So you want to use this to your advantage as you
for whatever reason
your maps. You can adjust
like it got shipped with
height of each
with it from Walmart.
If you click this little cog, fold down the upper layer.
And I saw on Twitter. A bunch of other people sharing that they got this. They had the same thing. It was like, I guess if the pre-order was fulfilled from Walmart, then they sent chips, Pringles specifically, and a Coke. And there's everybody was getting different flavored Pringles. So I got cheddar cheese. I saw somebody got the hot ones Pringles, which would have been really good.
Upper height 0, base height 0, etc., etc.
With the
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the lower
sour cream or whatever.
Select my water. Fill bucket.
Yeah.
And fill in.
So I haven't bought Pringles in years, dude. That's just I really don't buy buy chips at all for the most part, but if I ever have chips in the pantry, it's because I was given them by somebody.
Circular tool. Draw a couple shapes here.
Yeah. You know, so if you want some free Pringles and a Coke, you know, get yourself a new Switch. Totally worth it.
Pathway. We'll use this one here. We'll draw a little pathway from this plot to this plot.
Let me just sing Sandstorm for a second. Let me open this up here while we're doing.
Okay. Now we're gonna come down. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna go to our upper layer. And we're gonna.
Yeah, I really don't buy like
so it's gonna come over.
Cokes either. I try not to drink soda too, like regular.
Ground layer. Let's select. Select this one here. These
like I said, they sent it to me, so
stone wall.
I'll take it.
We'll do some shape like that. Gonna switch to our paintbrush.
There it goes. Here. There's the timer. There's the timer.
Something along those lines. And then maybe let's put in a building over here. Okay.
Over here.
Let's just do some square.
I haven't gone back and watched the old tutorials, but I have no idea why it took me an hour to go through this stuff. Just not knowing what I was doing, I guess. I drink too much of it. I only drink sugar-free, but truth be told, that's probably worse for you. Absolutely. I would 100% say that, agree that that is worse for you. Just the artificial sweeteners, man, they're bad for the brain.
Okay. Walk around.
And you know what? If I'm wrong about that, let's just say I'm wrong. I don't think I am, but if I am,
you can't see it because there's no character.
Then you know,
model. But
it's still not good to drink sodas, like regardless if they're sugar-free or
butting into the rocks
full of sugar. You know, either way they're bad.
In the ocean there, okay.
But
the water.
I'm pretty certain the sugar-free stuff is bad for you.
Just like that, we have ourselves our first map. However, we don't know where we're at because we don't have a player character visible. So what I want to do, I'm going to close this. We are going to go back to our database.
Cut it with some water.
And come up to the top here, the characters section.
And I'll have to, after the first
we have this list
block here, I'll have to get some coffee too.
Where we will fill out different character information. We're going to select the first slot, and then you have an area where we fill out the name, where you set up the character's appearance. You can set up the collider. You can set up character classes, equipment slots, item types, skill types, and then different statistics and traits over here on the right. What we want to do first is we're going to set up our sprite model. Actually, first let's give him a name. So let's just call him Hero Sprite Model. We'll click the little button here, and then we are in our character section from Final Boss Blues. Let's use this guy here. Now what I want when you're selecting your character, when you're selecting a resource, I need this little white bounding box or selection box. I need this to be selecting this character's full sprite sheet, basically. So all 4 directions.
Sorry, just responding to something.
Now the way you do this is you define the frame width and height over here.
I haven't told my sister or
this, you'll see that white box starts to get
or her
bigger.
kids that we got the Switch to. And so I was actually planning on going over there later tonight, but it's not going to happen for reasons.
Dimensions are just right.
And so I'm trying to make that happen as soon as possible.
A very quick and easy way to do this. On this left side,
just because I think it's just going to be fun, just having game night with them, playing Mario Kart.
Template for a character. Then what you can do is over here in the top right, there's a couple buttons you can press. This first one with the little red dot, it sets the sprite to be a singular image with 1 frame and direction. So what that does is it does select the full sheet here. However, then you need to still make a couple adjustments. So you need to set
couple adjustments
because there are 4 directions, and set the frame count to 3. And then we'll see that the bounding box is a little different now, or the selection box. But then you have the second button sets the sprite frame dimensions based on the frame count and direction. Click that, and now we have our character sprite as we need. We have the frame count and the directions set appropriately. If you're not using Final Boss Blues' stuff, then you'll probably just know what your frame width and height
If you're not using Final Boss Blues' stuff, just ignore what I said.
But that is a nice little tool built into the resources that are provided. So let's go back to character 2, and we can just select this character, and all our information stays the same here. You can adjust the scale of the character. You can make him bigger on an X scale, Y, or Z scale. You can also change the hue of the character. So if you're not liking the blue, you can do something like that.
Something like that.
Of 0 to 1. So if you set it to 1, it'll be no change. But so if you do decimal values, so 0.3, he's an ogre all of a sudden. 0.8.
You can tell I'm super low energy in this one because I recorded this at like between 7:30 and 8 in that morning.
But yeah,
the recording was actually about 45 minutes, but I cut it down because I just kept having to restart. What I was saying.
One other thing I'm going to do while we're here is go to traits, and we're going to add 2 traits.
Pinkish.
The traits is going to be physical property for both of them, and we're going to adjust speed X and speed
title for the engine.
We'll do
Pinkish.
300%. The initial walk speed is a little slow for my liking, so I like to set him to 300% here. This will adjust his on-map speed. You can adjust that if needed. You can go to 200.
It's going to spread misinformation in the chat over here.
And before we jump in, we have one more thing to do. We're going to scroll down here, down to the bottom. Go to New Game, and you'll see here there is initial party members list. So you hit this little plus button, click the slot that is created, and then you can set the character, hero, and you can set his starting level or rank.
We're wrapping up over here now. We'll get started on the music creation here soon.
And there he is.
There he is.
Using
That's the guy.
keys to walk around.
Thought I'd use him instead of the red-haired guy I've been using in all the other ones.
And he's running into the walls here.
As you do.
He's running into the walls here.
As you do.
And I think he's actually going to be able to walk over the water, come to think of it. Yep. He is able to walk on water.
He is risen.
If you have something like that, I'll show you one last thing, and then we'll call it for this one. We're going to go back into our tile set, database, maps, tile set, exterior 1. Go to our animated
If you're just
tile.
joining us, we are just finishing up watching this RPGA tutorial since it's premiering live right now, and then we're going to get into music creation. Did it pause? I may have clicked pause accidentally. Whoops.
Tab, and then you click
trigger
on
finger.
These, you'll see the little X pops up. So these are tiles that your player will not be able to walk over. So let's hit apply, and then let's run it again. Now we should be able to walk up here.
Bam. Blocked. Can't walk on water anymore.
Water. He's just a mere mortal. Mere mortal. The rest of us. Cool. So hopefully that helped. I know that was maybe a bit of info all at once, but this will help get you started, get your character on the map, get you walking around. We will go into more detail with other
spam hearts in the chat.
But that is a good start.
Thanks for hanging out and
this is just a very basic
and watching everyone.
If you need to get
come hang out
there's a lot more
on my
that we can
stream,
adjust, obviously, but we won't be diving into that just yet. However, if you're anxious to get started and learn more, I do have a lot of tutorials already recorded on this channel.
Yes, real quick.
Just from
hurry, Bert, hurry.
So we're just going back and redoing some of the old ones with the new look of the engine. And
hey, Tolan's in there.
Being a little bit better at teaching things, I think, maybe. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But anyway, hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, please be sure to leave a like on this video.
Hey, Tolan's here. Here's.
If you were just getting started with the engine, and if there's any questions you have.
Hey, Tolan here's.
Be sure to join the Discord if you are new. There's a lot of great support you can find there. You can talk with Locke, the developer, directly.
Smash it.
There's also a lot of community members who have already learned quite a bit about the engine and are happy to help there. So I'm also hanging out in there as well. If you want to chat with me, if you've enjoyed my tutorial, if you
join the Discord, like the tutorial. I should put this actually.
You can do so at patreon.com/bitbybitsound.
Copy this link
to use in your projects, and in addition to the
copy
music
clean
that I've already,
link, I guess,
included in the engine. So if you do enjoy the music, that's
grab your copy of RPGA here. Whoa, that's okay.
More. All right, well, I think that's gonna.
That's not what I want.
You have been amazing. I have been Bert, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.
Okay. Let's just do this. That's what I want. Right? Yep. All that. And then... we don't need all this. Oops, I forgot to fade out the music there. There we go. Comment on here. Let me pin that to the top of the comments. All right. Okay. So that's that part of the day done. Let me open up this one. Thank you all for your patience. Let me close that. There we go. I think now that that's done, we're going to be moving into our next phase, which is a sequence, an hour-long meditation is what we'll be doing. No, we're going to be working on some more tropical music. I want to pull, man, we can listen back to the couple that we've kind of gotten started, but there's been nothing that's really grabbed me yet. Nothing has been like, oh yeah, that's the one. And if it comes down to it and we're just like, I don't know what to, then we can always just pull from one of these. But I kind of want to start from scratch again, to be honest with you. And that's the kind of mood I'm in. What is this one? Oh, that's my voiceover for RPGA. That's just yeah, when I do those tutorials, I'll record the voice in Studio One and then just sync up the voice of the video. Even though I can record audio in OBS, I can record through this mic. I don't know, for whatever reason, that's just is how I've always done it, and so that's what I do. Song 1 MIDI 4 days ago. Was this one? No. What is this? This was... That's right, okay. I could have sworn we were working on one yesterday. Like a new one. I know we did Silent Hill 2 Groove. No, that's right. I guess we were working on just mixing that one yesterday. That's right. Okay. You know what? Screw it. Let's just do new project. Let's just do it. We were feeling it. We were talking about it. Yeah, we were finishing up Mermaid Song. That's right. Mermaid Song and Mario Kart. That's what it was. So let me put on my... Yeah, I did. You know, actually, I think I know what happened. Don't save that. It's over here. We did start one on Studio One version 6, and because I remember saying, against my better judgment, we're going to start here just because it was working. I don't know why I did it. I was just caught up in the moment, I guess. Yesterday, today, forever. Jesus is the name. Is this one? Or was that? It says version 6. Ba ba da 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 ba 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 ba. Poop. I agree, man. Poop. Just straight poop, dog. Is this the... Yeah, that's the same one. Dang it. Okay, that's the one from this morning, but just saved in version 6. All right, we're getting there. Poop. Poop, I say. That is that same one. So it's got to be this one. It's got to be. It's got to be. First hour of the stream is finding the song. This looks familiar. Okay. Turn it up a little bit for you. I think we had another one even when we started too. I like this one, but I think there's a third one in the mix already. We should probably start this guy, yeah. There we go. Let's grab some. Let's see, these are mainly like, yeah, these are like general MIDI or Chrono Cross samples. Let's grab some casual bongos. Casual bongo. Drum set. That'll work. Or drum kit. Let's go with drum kit. Just turn it into a reggae song. What is this? Where am I? Oh. Keyboard is disconnected. That just happens randomly. I don't know why. It's okay. Reconnect. Scroll back. Bop-a-da-bop. There we go. Wait. Where's my... I guess that'll do. Hang on. This... Yeah, reggae would fit really good. Reggae feel, a lot of it is about the drum pattern. Like, there's obviously, it's not always like this, but one really easy one is, you know, the kick drum down on the downbeat. That starts in about 2 hours, Lock. That beat with the hand pan would sound pretty good. That one? Yeah. So, like, if you ever listen to reggae, a lot of times it's the kick drum on the downbeat, like on the one, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then like a snare, usually like hitting on the rim. I don't know if you can see, kind of like, not really that. There's a thing where you like, imagine this is the drum you just do that, like on the head of the drum there. And then make sure Mondi knows. Oh, I'll be on the road by then. You'll just have to tell me how much fun you're having, and then make sure Mondi knows. Oh, of course. You can still watch this while you drive. I would prioritize this, honestly. But then the guitar is usually like upstrokes on like a 2 and a 4, like a 1, or hang on, 1, 2. I can't. It's hard to do all 3 parts, it's hard to do all the things with, at once. But I know what it sounds like in my head. I know what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, we might do some reggae stuff. Reggae could be the theme for next month too. He will be observing the fun live. So let's do. It's fun. Excuse me, what's the difference between drum kit and drum set here? A lot less to work with on drum set. Yeah, a lot less to work with on this one. Let's just do. Yeah, I gotta find. I'll do this, but then I'm gonna have to find another patch that has some more sounds to it, because this isn't quite enough to me. Alright, so let's do that. Let me add a second hit in there that I missed because my thumb was fat. Fat thumb. Ba-ba-da. There we go, that's what I was trying to do. That's what I wanted. Couple more. Very Black Hole Sun kind of sound at the opening. Yeah. It's that it's the one note moving up here. It's like it's this motion here. That's what's giving it that sound. There's also like it's not exactly the same, but like the James Bond main theme has a kind of similar motion there. Let's see if I. If you look at the piano on, I always try to point at my screen. If you look at the piano down here, you can see I'm basically following that same little motion here. Let me blow it up so you can see a little better. Anyway, yeah, but because I got these little notes, it doesn't sound exactly like that. It's a different rhythm too. So let's add some, let's put these in the same verb space. I'm gonna sneeze, Excuse me.
Probably find some good sounds in DK sound fonts. Yeah, for sure. DK's got some good stuff. Only thing with that one would be is because I've kind of already I've been using PlayStation 1 sound fonts here, and so it might stand out a little bit since it's like if I lay a foundation with 16-bit stuff and then I add in some PlayStation or N64 fonts, they kind of still work a little bit. It's a little bit harder the other way, not impossible, still doable. We can give it a shot, for sure. Not opposed to trying. I do want to take, which one is it? This one? Yeah, I want to bring the drum up a little bit more. And then, alright, so we are in Trono Tross. Let's see. Drums are usually down towards the bottom. Let's just try Jungle Kit. Let's see what we got in here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the verb on it. Is that all of them? Hang on, let me look and see. Yeah, not a ton of sounds. This little gray line up here, that's where samples are at, basically. Let's try a different kit. Excuse me. Just have a spot in my throat like I can't clear. There we go. Let's look at the Evelyn Fisher kit. There's a monkey in the song! We can do like this shaker at the end of this latter half here. Yeah, I'll just start it on this loop and then I think I'm going to go into a different section at the end of this, or I think I would like to. Alright, let's drag that. So let's have it just be through this. And then I think also... Come on, click, you fool. It's frozen up, hang on. There it goes. Those are kinda... I'm not even sure if you can hear that. They're very, very subtle, very soft. Let's look at... Mystical Ninja. What's in here? That's more. This Final Fantasy IX one, that's kind of a false advertising. I don't know. It didn't exactly feel like the font. It didn't feel familiar. Let's see what this little ringy dingy was. Okay. Did you hear a little ringy dingy? You ever see that, is that old Dana Carvey stand-up bit? Or stand-up special? I think it was from like 94. He has this bit about George Bush Sr. Where he says, well, he's just talking about how he can do a really good George Bush impression. And, anyway, that's what I quote that still to this day. That did you hear a little ring-a-dingy? That's what it's from. What was I looking for? More drums. What game is this? Oh, this is just a Nintendo 64. I zoned out while I was telling my half story. Steel drums. Bam. I don't know where it goes from there. Props if you know what that's from. Blank. Let's see if we can make steel drums work. Why not? Let's give it a shot. Throw some verb. We got the perfect thing. I'm gonna get copyright strike again playing that for Soulja Boy. Okay, anyway. That's actually getting key now. Maybe, but turned way down. I don't know how to stop people like that. Thank you, Mondoon. I appreciate that. I salute you, sir. I can do like a fade in, like a slow. That might be a hard one to fit in at this point, I think. I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to leave that one in there. Well, let's keep looking for stuff. Wood block. I'm feeling wood block. Maybe. Taiko drum, that's what I meant.
just slow it down. I think I'm trying to add too much drum here. I need to just... It needs room to breathe. What about kalimba? No, that's not a... That's more like... Yep. Bagpipes. Nothing says island quite like bagpipes. Out of tune bagpipes. I hope somebody tunes in right as I'm doing that, just to tune right back out. That'd be funny. Not really, but... No worries, dude. Do your thing. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Acoustic guitar, ukulele. I could try it in there. I could try to throw one of those in there. I'm sure it would work. I was trying to kind of not do an acoustic guitar since that was the focal point of the last one. But I think I even did bring a uke up in this in the early. Yeah, there's a uke up here. Somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I could layer that up with the uke, because this is like a... I think that main guitar is like... I think it's a jazz guitar from, yeah, from Chrono Cross. Yeah. I think that'll work. We can add that layer in there. And I think I'm going to go back to this one, too, after that. This is... the star theme. Yeah. I never realized how much of a lag there was on YouTube till I started doing this, but yeah. Faux show. Star theme. Let's layer that ukulele. Yep. That's why everybody, or most people who, not everybody, but most people who have started off on, you know, watching me on YouTube generally end up coming over to Twitch. It's funny. There's like some kind of warble to this sample, but that's alright. We're gonna roll with it for a second. And then... I'm not sure if I want to come in at the very beginning or not. Maybe just let this guitar... I think I'll have it come in when the flute part comes in. that again. I think actually maybe having it come in with the bass might work best at this point. I want to do that again, but let's just give that a quick listen. Oops, whoops. Let's have that. Oops, that one too. There's kind of a slight warbly woo to this particular uku. Do I have one over here? I feel like I don't. I don't really see ukulele in these old samples too often. I'll try nylon. Nylon guitar. Here, let me mute that uke real quick, and let's try the nylon. And I'm gonna come in with the bass. Throw reverb on it. Up a higher. Maybe not. Ooh, that one's really loud. Hang on. It's really loud. And maybe the uku is better. This one's not quite. Yeah, it's better than it started, that's for sure. Oops. Back. I don't know. Something into that, but that was a little wank. I changed up the pattern with this a little bit, so it's not the exact same as the other. Like a triplet feel here. Bup, bup, bup. Yep. There we go. And then let's take that. Oops. Take that same thing. That was a little bit better of a performance. Uku Basic. Something like that. That's not bad. All right, let's see if we can spot something. Oh yeah, I did want to go back to the star theme thing. Whoop, down a couple octaves. mix it down a little bit, but this is kind of a nice little... Yeah, let's go back. Let's throw that in there. Definitely needs to be mixed a little quieter in there, but I'll keep it loud so I can hear what I'm doing. Dang it, hang on. One, two, three. End was a little meh, but that's okay. I kind of like this. Just needs some... Let's maybe take some of the top end off. Just run it through some filter. This beginning note needed to be... Yeah, I synced it up. Okay. Maybe... Here, can I hide that? There we go. Let's take the dry signal down. Maybe not that much. A little bit more through the reverb. End wasn't too awful bad. Trying to decide if the velocity needs to be more or less. Wow. So I think it's kind of a nice little warm layer in there.